Casey, I hear that we're going to be talking about how a white trash family man sort of starts off his whole charade there and then ends up with a Chewbacca son.
Um,
Don't laugh at Chewbacca. He'll go out or whatever the fuck sound he makes.
oh, honey, you're so bad at that.
Well, I can't make the Chewbacca sound, but you get what I mean. There's a white trash guy. He has a whole bunch of children with various women.
No.
No?
No, this is their first two sons. They're twins.
We start off with the white trash guy, though, right? What is his name?
Abraham's son Isaac,
Yeah,
who's married to
Isaac.
Becky from Lot 24.
Yeah, I know. Lot 24, Becky instead of Trisha. I get it. But I mean, he has kids with concubines and his wife. That's a legit white trash blueprint right there.
No, that's not Isaac. That's Abraham.
I'm getting these two mixed up. It's almost like they're the same fucking person.
Wait till we get to Genesis chapter 26, and they legit have the exact same story.
Fuck me.
Yes, we're going to go back to, basically you can repeat some of the stories between, I think Genesis chapter 18, 19, 20. I think you can pretty much repeat most of that, and that's what happens with Isaac and Rebekah.
Oh, okay. Well, you ready to start this shit?
Yes.
Awesome. Hello, heathens. How are you guys doing today?
You fucked up my time.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, y'all. Because that was so important.
I hope that you guys are doing pretty well today. I'm doing pretty good. And Casey, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've got a couple of days off coming up, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to be out in fucking bumfuck nowhere, Arizona, so.
Desert time.
Yes. Luckily, I've got my Flonase on me that charged me like, $50 to get.
Yeah.
Or it's not technically Flonase. It's whatever prescription strength they managed to shove up my nose.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you're going to Arizona. Don't get sand in your badge.
All right, so what are we talking about today? It's not a white trash guy, but we are starting off with Abraham.
Yes. Okay, so we know that Sarah died, and Abraham got a wife for Isaac, and that wife is Rebekah. As Isaac is comforted after his mother's death, Abraham finds comfort after his wife's death, and he marries a lass named Keturah.
So basically he finds comfort in another vagina. Good going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they say that happens a lot, that when people lose their spouse, that pretty quickly they tend to hook up with somebody else. Like that's a very common thing, just so they can feel comfort and loved or cared for or whatever.
No, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge, although they do judge you a lot. In fact, they judge you so hard you might go to hell.
Who's they?
Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, whatever, Jacob, all these fucks in here.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
we're going to start off with Genesis chapter 25. So Abraham took another wife, Keturah. She bore him. Now, I'm not going to read all. What do you want me to read the sons' names? There's 6 of them. So the descendants, each son ends up being the father of their own tribe of people. And one of the tribes, I won't read them all off, but you have to know this one, Ashurites. But it's like Ashurites. Not even kidding. ASSHURITES. Ashurites. At least it's not Ashurtites.
Ashurites. That sounds like one of those Jeff Foxworthy Southern words. It's like
I know.
Ashurites. Man, I bet her ass are right. I don't know.
You're not as good as Jeff Foxworthy.
No, I'm not. I'm discount Jeff Foxworthy. Go ahead.
So I'm pretty sure it's Ashurites because you remember the land Shur? So I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that. Anyways, so they have 6 sons together. Well, Abraham left all of everything that he owned to Isaac, right? None of his other sons. He didn't leave anything that he owned to Isaac. And in fact, all of his sons were sent away. All of his sons. His Keturah's sons and all of the sons he had from his concubines, which they never mentioned concubines for Abraham until right now. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
There was that one with Ishmael.
Well, yeah, but she wasn't really a concubine. She was I guess she could be considered a concubine. She was taken as she was a servant.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you guys don't remember, that's the servant girl that Sarah
Hagar.
her name's Hagar, but yeah. Sarah gave Hagar to Abraham, kind of like a piece of property.
Yeah, the women
to fuck. And have a kid with, and then she got pissed off because, she regrets it, but she wanted to blame Abraham. It's a whole Jerry Springer thing.
Well, so anyway, all of Abraham's sons are sent away to protect what Isaac was to inherit from Abraham. So the people of God and the land of God and all that other shit. All right. So the next thing that happens in Genesis chapter 25 is that Abraham dies.
Oh, yay. So he dies.
Yes.
Is that like a celebration? Like, I don't know how Jews do death.
Well, they bury people in caves. It's really not that big of a deal.
Oh, where did I get that they like burned them or something? Never mind.
That's Auschwitz.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting because all of the talk that we have about Abraham so far in Genesis and what an important figure he is in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. I mean, this is the Abrahamic God. This is Abraham. He's a big fucking deal, right? When they talk about his death, he gets Genesis chapter 25, 7 through 10. 3 lines.
Oh, nice.
Are you ready? This is important.
Okay.
Altogether, Abraham lived 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died a good old age. An old man and full of years, and he was gathered to his people. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in a cave of Machpelah near Mamre in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar, in the Hittite, the field that Abraham bought from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with his wife Sarah.
Well, his first wife.
Yes.
And then I wonder if they pile on the second wife and the concubines in there when they die.
Well, the second wife and the concubines don't really matter. They probably just toss them in there, or maybe not even toss them in there. They're just shit out of luck.
Well, I mean, if they did put them in there, I bet Sarah would be in there like, why the fuck all these hoes got to be in here, Abraham? God damn, you couldn't keep your dick in your pants? Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn old 150-year-old dick.
175.
Well, yeah, but he would have been fucking them like when he was 150.
Actually, he married Keturah when he was 137.
See? He would have still been fun.
Well, that's when Sarah died, when he was 137. And so it doesn't say how many years following. It just says that he's comforted after Sarah's death.
Well, I mean, the Bible has always been the best timekeeper. Hashtag 6,000 years.
So anyway, that's it. That's the end of Abraham. We're done with him. Okay. So the next section is about it's about Ishmael. It's the last account in the Bible of Ishmael.
Ooh.
So this is now the last time we'll hear about him.
Let me guess. He goes on a white trash rampage, angered at his daddy because he's a bastard, and then he himself is a bastard. So it's like bastard inception at this point.
Well, actually, it does become bastard inception. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So Ishmael has 12 sons.
Oh, fuck.
And they all become tribal rulers. Every single one of them becomes a tribal ruler according to their own settlements and camps. Ishmael lived 137 years total. He died. When he died, his descendants settled into an area from Havilah to Shur near the border of Egypt. They lived in hostility towards all of their brothers. So, but this was foretold. Remember, in earlier passages, it was foretold that Ishmael would always be hostile and wild, and that his descendants would be angry and like, you know what I mean? Like, so this was kind of foretold earlier.
Yeah, it seems like a family feud that just won't stop. I mean, because if you think about it, their tribes are going to have kids, and then they're going to splinter off, and they're going to be pissed off at Daddy and their brothers for what the fuck ever reason.
It seems like they didn't. Well, I mean, I don't know. It says they lived in hostility toward all their brothers, so I don't know if they were all hostile to each other, or if they were all hostile to all other people. So I'm not really sure. It's not really that clear. Imagine that. So that is the last account of Ishmael. So now Abraham's dead, Ishmael's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about Isaac and his sons. So after Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac and basically told him, you know, the same kind of shit that he told Abraham. You will have many descendants, blah, blah, blah. Well, now in Genesis 25:19, it said, well, actually it's probably 20, that Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. Now in the last passage, he was 37.
So this is like 3 years after Abraham found Rebekah.
If you remember, to the last week, or the last day that we did, it's the story was told as if immediately following Sarah's death, the servant went out to find Isaac a wife. The first person he finds is Rebekah, immediately brings her home. She's immediately brought into Sarah's hut, tent, whatever, and they're married, and Isaac is comforted. So I don't know. It's not really clear about the timing, but we know that Isaac was 37 when Sarah died, and apparently was 40 when he married Rebekah.
So wait, did he like fuck her before they married?
No.
Okay. So I mean, if he was 37 when she died,
when Sarah died,
right?
But we don't know how long.
Apparently it was
3 years.
3 years. It was 3 years to go get Rebekah, bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a long goddamn camel walk. Camel pimp walk, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because the way that they tell a story is that it all happened immediately following Sarah's death, that they were comforted after Sarah's death. So it comes off as if they were still in mourning and were comforted.
Right.
And so, but then it's, by this account, it would be 3 years. So I don't really know. I mean, Bible math.
Yeah, hashtag Bible math.
Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was barren. Who's this sound like?
Why is it that this seems to be a common theme? It's like, oh, I've got a wife. Fuck, she's barren.
Gotta pray and do everything God says so she can have babies.
Yep.
I don't know, but it's ridiculous. So anyway, here's what's interesting. The Lord answered his prayer and his wife Rebekah became pregnant.
He works a bit faster for Isaac.
Right?
For Abraham, made his ass wait like, what, 20 years or so?
No, like 70 fucking years.
Fuck me.
Like Abraham had to go here and there and fucking blood sacrifice and fire sacrifice and do this and that and all this other shit before God was like, I'll fix the bitch. You can have one. And then you're going to kill him. I mean, it's like he had to go through all of these things to test his faith. And Isaac is like, yo, Sky Daddy, my wife's not having a baby. Can you please patch her shit up right there, please?
Boom, abracadabra. It's fixed, bro. Gotcha.
Yeah. Fuck her. You'll have yourself some twins. Like, legit, that's how it went. So, anyway, she had twins. All right. So there is a prophecy. Okay. So Rebekah gets a prophecy. The Lord came to her, and the babies were jostling within her. So she asked, "Why is this happening to me?" She went and inquired of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated."
Oh, fuck. 2 nations are in her. How big is that fucking vagina?
Well, it's her uterus.
Yeah, but you get there through the vagina. You wouldn't go through the mouth.
But the kids don't get there through the vagina. Anyway, we're not going to have a story talk about the birds and the bees right now. 1 people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. Okay.
That sounds familiar. It sounds like Noah with Shem and what the fuck his face was.
Ham and Jerry.
Yeah, Ham and Jerry.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment. So they named him Esau. Now,
oh, you a red fuck, Esau.
Well, so Esau means hairy. He was also called Edom.
Does that mean fuck you, kid?
No, it means red.
Oh. Okay.
He was red and hairy.
Edom Esau.
Well,
what's that mean? Red, hairy, and fuck you for being it?
So this is the first account of God-hating gingers.
They have no souls.
So after this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. So he was named Jacob. And Jacob literally means he grasps the heel, and figuratively means he deceives.
Ooh, he deceives. He's a deceiver.
Which is interesting that these words mean these things, and you find that out, but these words mean these things because that's what happens in the following stories. So it's not like these words already meant these things.
Right. They're making shit up as they go.
Yep.
It's like, I'm going to name you Ashwabi. That means big boy that comes out of vagina.
What?
I don't know.
But
Just
usually it means stuff that happens later in their life, because this is shit that is being written following. So it's all the names are being made up, all the story, it's all being made up.
So you mean basically the parents are being Nostradamus,
yes,
and predicting the future of their children,
yes,
by giving them names.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
John.
Bible logic.
Well, let's see. John is a shitter. I don't know what that's supposed to tell me about my future. You're going to be on the toilet a lot, John. Here's your IBS.
God. Okay, so it's interesting. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. So they married when he was 40. She was barren. All he did was pray, and God was like, cool, bro, and gave him sons. But this took 20 years somehow, and we have no idea what happened in these 20 years.
Okay, so he spent 20 years just basically fucking Rebekah and having kids?
Having no kids. No kids. She was barren.
Oh, okay, so she was barren. He prayed, and God immediately fixed it. Of course, immediately in the fucking Bible is defined as 3 to 20 years.
Well, and we don't know. We don't know if he prayed. Like, we don't know if he waited 20 years to pray. We don't know if he prayed and it happened right away. We don't know if he prayed and then it took 20 years to happen. We have no idea. We have no idea, because these 20 years between he and Rebekah getting married, and
Becky
and Esau and Jacob being born, there's a 20-year gap that we have no clue what happens in.
That's one hell of a gestation period. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, Go ahead.
Okay, so Esau and Jacob grow up. Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country. Jacob was a quiet man, staying among his tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, and Rebekah loved Jacob. So apparently you can't love both of your children. You can only choose one. So the dad chose one and the mom chose the other. That seems normal, right?
Definitely.
Favoritism. So Jacob was a shady motherfucker. You ready to hear about this shit?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I mean, his name does mean deceiver.
Yeah, well,
right. It's pretty much next to
retroactively.
Satan.
Retroactively.
Okay.
Because he deceived Esau.
Oh, okay.
So Jacob didn't mean deceiver when he was born. It retroactively means deceiver because Jacob deceived Esau.
Yeah, any Jacobs that might be listening to this,
you a shady motherfucker.
Yeah. Quit being so shady there, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents knew you'd be a shady fucker. Jacob, we're on to you.
Every week, I think we should just insult somebody, whoever, with a particular name. Because last week it was Becky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we have no idea the time frame of this. We have no idea how old these brothers are at this point. But once, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country famished. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished." Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright."
What the fuck?
That better be some good motherfucking stew. Now, when he's talking about his birthright, it's because Esau was the firstborn. So Esau automatically stands to receive double part of Isaac's estate and take over leadership of the family upon Isaac's death. That's what your birthright is for being born first. Okay, even though they were born minutes apart, he gets double and the head of the family when Isaac dies.
Okay, just close your eyes, everybody, and just imagine this scene right now.
Mm.
You're in a tent. Jacob is standing there holding some red fucking soup for some reason. His red ass brother comes in.
Harry
red ass brother comes in, falls on the ground. It's like, dude, I need some of that soup or I'm gonna die. And he just looks at him, laughs, and is like, I'll do it if you sell me your birthright. You can die and I'll get your birthright, or you can give me your birthright and you can live. It's like, what a dick. I mean, I would be laying there on the ground. I don't care how furry and red my ass would be. I would just have to sit there for a second and be like, God damn, you a cold motherfucker. You know that?
Well, so what's interesting, though, is we'll find out that Esau doesn't know what his birthright is. Like, he doesn't understand what he's giving up. So Esau says, "Look, I'm about to die. What good is a birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So Esau swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob because he didn't know. He said, "What good is it to me? I don't care. Here, have my fucking birthright. Give me some soup." So Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. Now, here's what I want to know. What the fuck did Jacob put in lentil stew to make it red? Lentils are green.
You didn't see it. Her hand is like jerked as if it was like, motherfucker.
I pointed at the table. Lentils are green. They are.
It was probably blood.
I don't think it was blood. It probably wasn't blood. Maybe tomatoes.
Hey, you can't prove me wrong. It might have been. It was probably his own blood. Like, it's like, here, we're gonna make a blood oath.
But the soup was already made. Jacob didn't know he was going to come in and be like, "I'm starving to death." for no apparent reason. We have no idea why he's starving to death.
So Jacob is a weird fuck. He drinks his own blood.
You're just making shit up now.
So are they.
This is a historical document.
This is not a historical document. Teacher, why do we hate gingers? Because Esau's a dumb fuck.
Esau ate and drank and got up and left. So Esau just gave up his birthright. So come to, and I don't know when we talk about this again. It's still in Genesis. We're going to talk some more about it, but just to like recap here, Esau unknowingly forfeits his opportunity to be the one in his generation through whom the blessings promised to Abraham would pass through. So Esau's descendants will never be God's special people. Right?
I just can't help but to think of like the special, like the short bus, like his people will forever be on the short bus.
Well, he does have a hairy red ass. I mean, he's hairy.
You're hairy. You're getting on the short bus there, fucker. Get your weird ass up there.
He's probably a southpaw too. So in future years, Esau's descendants indeed become subservient to Jacob's descendants. And Jacob's descendants, his direct line, become God's chosen people, right? Esau's descendants bear the name Edomites because they're red. And this is a continuing source of friction between the Hebrew nation.
Well, I'm wondering if this has anything to do with like Native American Indians, because I mean they're classified as racially, like racist. Racially, they're
Redskins.
They're Redskins, yeah. So I wonder if that.
And some of them have black feet.
Yeah,
that's what I am, Blackfoot.
I'm wondering if like the whole redskin thing, like of the Indians, comes from this as a way to paint them as being shady fucker or shady. Well, I don't know. Jacob's. Well, I mean, I guess Jacob is the shady fucker, not Esau. But I'm just kind of wondering if that's like where it comes in.
I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, like people in the Middle East aren't red. Like Middle Eastern people aren't red; they're brown.
Well, true. I don't know why they would say that he was born red. Like,
because
it
was like where the wild things are. He came out like a big fucking hairy red monster and was shunned because he was dumb enough to give up his birthright because he was also stupid.
You're ginger, you're stupid, and you don't have a soul. Go fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. Be our slave. So that is Genesis chapter 25. Now we're going to start off with Genesis chapter 26. And we're going to talk about Isaac and Rebekah. And I'm not going to read all of this to you because we've read it before. But I'll recap here. In the very beginning of Genesis chapter 26, God appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For you and your descendants, I will give all of these lands and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham." The reason he tells him not to go to Egypt is because there's a famine. Very similarly to how there was a famine in Abraham's time, and they left and went to Egypt, right?
Right.
So Isaac decided to stay in Gerar, where he was. You remember that land? I know you like that place. So the men of that place asked him about his wife, Rebekah, because they were going to bring him to the king of that area. Does anybody remember who the king of Gerar is?
I don't know. Gerard Butler.
Abimelech.
Abimelech.
So they asked about Rebekah, and Isaac says, "She is my sister."
What the fuck?
He was afraid to say she is my wife because he thought the men of the place might kill him on account of Rebekah because she is so beautiful.
Good goddamn. Did the writers they're just like, well, we could write a whole new story for Isaac,
but we're going to write the same one.
Yeah, we will. I mean, Rebecca's going to fuck this old guy. Is super old because, I mean, you know,
Abimelech has got to be old as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, Abimelech fucked his mom. The first, you know, or tried to. He didn't actually. He fuck
didn't
her.
Actually.
No, but
you remember he got the herp.
Well, right. But I mean, he was around and he was gonna fuck her.
Yes.
He was gonna fuck her hard.
Yes.
And then it was like, I don't know. God said he'd fuck me up.
Yes.
And then it corked up all of the uteri.
Yeah.
Is that the correct uteruses? Uteri?
I don't know. It says here, when Isaac had been there a long time, Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, looked down from a window and saw Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. So Abimelech summoned Isaac and said, "She is really your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" Isaac answered him, "Because I thought I might lose my life on account of her." Abimelech said, "What is it that you have done to us? One of the men might have well slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." So Abimelech gave orders to all the people. Anyone who molests this man or his wife should surely be put to death.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a carbon copy. You just change around a few small minor things, and it's the exact same goddamn thing.
Right. So they stayed there for a while. Isaac planted crops, and the land reaped 100-fold because the Lord blessed him. So Isaac became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. He had many flocks and herds and servants, and the Philistines envied him. And then, you want to know what happens next? Quarrels over wells. You remember how Abraham and who'd he fight with about the well? Was it who'd he fight with about the well? You remember that?
I do remember him getting in an argument over a well.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly who it was, but I know that they were fighting over a well.
Yes. So anyway, it was Abimelech. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we fight over wells with Abimelech again. He has his servants dig wells, and Abimelech takes the well, and he says, or no, it wasn't Abimelech. Abimelech fixed it. It was somebody else who took the well from Abraham, and Abimelech is saying, why is this the first time hearing about this? Remember?
Yeah.
So same shit, different day, fights over wells. Okay.
You think maybe Abimelech was standing there like, I could have sworn I've already done this once before.
Well, so anyway, Abimelech kind of tells him to leave. Like, there's quarrels. Isaac moves on, and Abimelech told Isaac, move away from us. You have become too powerful for us. So Abimelech sends Isaac and his people away.
Because they become too powerful. Isn't that the same thing that Abimelech was given Abraham shit for? It's like, I'm afraid you're going to become too powerful.
Yes, and they made an oath.
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck, Bible? Why are you making us read this shit twice with different actors? I mean, it's literally like, oh hey, let's remake Spider-Man for the 50th time.
They do that.
Yeah, I know they do. That's why I'm glad the newest Spider-Man doesn't go through the whole creation thing, because like the last two Spider-Men went through how he got bit. We all fucking know how he got bit.
Yeah.
He got bit by some kind of fucking spider, and he turned into Spider-Man. You don't have to go through it again. Go ahead.
Okay.
Nerd rant.
Yeah. So anyway,
Why do you say that like, Jesus Christ, I live with you? Goddamn nerd rants. Y'all don't even know the half of it.
No, you don't. But that's okay. It's entertaining. And I, learn some things sometimes. So anyway, Isaac leaves. They go up to Beersheba. That night the Lord appeared to him and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and increase the number of you and your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham. So Isaac built an altar there, called on the name of the Lord, pitched his tent, and his servants dug a well.
Pitched a tent.
So meanwhile, Abimelech comes to Isaac after he kicked him out to make a covenant, just like the covenant that he made with Abraham. So Isaac said, the fuck are you here for? Sort of. That's sort of what he said. You were hostile to me and sent me away. They answered, we saw clearly that the Lord was with you. So we said, there ought to be a sworn agreement between us. There ought to be a sworn agreement between us and you. I don't know why they had to say that again. Let us make a treaty with you that you will do us no harm. The treaty was the same with Abraham. You will do us no harm. You and your Lord, we know God is with you. You will do us no harm. They're super afraid of Abraham and Isaac and the God of Abraham. Right? So they continued, just as we did not molest you, but always treated you well and sent you away in peace. Okay, so a dude came to your town and you didn't molest him. So want a cookie? Like that's it's like, instead of molesting you, we shook your hand. Oh, okay. Remind me never to go to that fucking town again.
Okay, so what is he asking for as retribution for not molesting him or her?
Just peace. Don't do them any harm.
Okay.
That's all they're asking for.
All right. So it's basically like you walk in and you see a girl and you saw her there the other day. It's like, hey, look, I didn't molest you yesterday. Can we call it cool? Can we be cool with each other? Just don't, press charges because I didn't molest you.
I don't know. It's super weird.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Like, I didn't molest you, so please now it's your turn to give me a blowjob. Wait, what?
You fucking owe me one, okay? I didn't do it.
You owe me one because I didn't molest you. Okay. It's very confusing. So Isaac was like, we cool, bro. Made him a feast. They ate and drank. Early the next morning, the men swore an oath to each other.
Wait a second. In the analogy that we just gave, basically you're saying that Isaac sucked his dick. It's like, hey, I didn't molest you last week. Will you give me a blowjob? Fucking sure, man. Why not, right? Bros before hoes.
Sometimes I wish they could see us. He just did an air 5 all by himself. It was...
I missed.
Yeah. So Isaac made a feast for them. They ate and drank. Early the next morning, the men swore an oath to each other. Isaac sent them on their way, and they left in peace. That day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. They said, "We found water," and they called it Sheba. And to this day...
They called the water Sheba?
He called it Sheba. I think the land... yeah. Okay, so you remember how they named the well for the oath between Abimelech and Abraham? They did the same thing. But now Sheba means oath. Or 7.
Oath or 7? Like, that seems to be a wide range of what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know, but that's what it says. Sheba can mean oath or 7. And to this day, the name of the town has been called Beersheba. And Beersheba can mean well of the oath or well of 7.
Wait, wasn't Beersheba already established?
Yes.
So what, did they just move it kind of like the Raiders move cities?
No, they're just repeating the same fucking story again.
Okay, so
because
what
happened to another chapter?
What happened to Beersheba? Like, is Beersheba in the same place? Or?
Yeah.
So the same place, they're like, I named thee Beersheba. It's like, that's what it's already fucking called, dipshit. What are you doing?
They didn't name it Beersheba. It just said, to this day, the name of the town has been Beersheba.
I don't know. I'm so confused.
They didn't name it that day. They named the well that day.
They named the well.
Sheba.
I'm here at Sheba, in Beersheba, doing all the Sheba.
Which probably means 7.
Yes. I'm banging these 7 whores over here in Shebaville.
Mm-hmm. Jesus fuck. So anyway, that's it for Genesis chapter 26. Well, there's still a couple more verses of Genesis chapter 26, which actually we'll recap next time, but this goes on to Genesis chapter 27 next time. But the very end of Genesis chapter 26 is when Esau is 40 years old. He married Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and also Basemeth, daughter of Elon the Hittite. They were a source of grief to Isaac and Rebekah. They were heathens.
They be heathens? What the fuck?
Heathens. Yes.
Well, hold on now. What does heathens mean in this particular portion of the Bible? I mean, does it mean anything?
Well, I'm assuming it means heathens. Let's see.
Fellow heathens in the Bible, we got to make sure they're okay. It's just that, heathen, I mean, could mean a totally, like, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody that doesn't believe in a god or whatnot. It could just be people that don't believe in their gods. I mean, pagans were running rampant too. People that were worshiping, what the fuck is his name? Baal? What? You gotta... I say Baal and it puts a smile on your face.
It wasn't a smile, it was a smirk. Anyways, so the 2 wives, and I don't know why he gets to take 2 wives. I guess because they want to, I don't know, monogamy isn't really a thing. They have concubines and stuff, but he actually has 2 wives. Ooh. And they're Canaanites, so it clashes.
This is traditional marriage right here.
Mm-hmm.
2 wives, concubines,
mm-hmm.
and finding 13-year-old girls to fuck. That's what we need to be fighting for in America.
Oh, God. So Anyway,
I like how
I
she
don't even
tries.
know.
So I like how she tries to get back on track. Like fuck, I don't even know where to begin with that one, John.
Usually I try to find like a transition smoothly into something else, or like, all right, let's move on. But after that, I don't even fucking know what to say, except for we're done for today. So next time we're going to start with Genesis chapter 27, where Isaac prepares a blessing. And we're going to talk about trouble between Jacob and Esau, right? Because there are issues between the two of them. As you know, Rebekah prefers Jacob, so Rebekah and Jacob conspire against Esau. Esau learns of Jacob's deception. Jacob deceives Isaac. Like, Jacob is a shady motherfucker. Like, seriously, this guy is such a dick.
Well, I mean, his name does mean deceiver. We're looking at you, Jacob, in the comments there. We see you writing your deceptive comments.
But even though Jacob deceives Isaac, Isaac blesses Jacob. So Esau's pissed, right? He learns of the deception. He's mad as fuck.
Whatever the fuck the Chewbacca sound is.
I'm sitting here talking. All of a sudden I hear this crazy fucking noise coming from over here. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing? Oh, that's your Chewbacca. Okay, honey. And you can't see this, but I'm patting his head. So anyway, Jacob leaves, and he gets exiled, and that's what we're going to talk about next time.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
The exiling of who's
Jacob.
it? Jacob? Yeah, because he's a deceitful motherfucker. Well, I appreciate everybody joining us today. Sorry for any kind of coughs or sniffles or anything like that in there. It's allergy season, so of course, we're fucked.
Yeah. In Alabama, every morning I go out to my car and I have to do the windshield washer fluid because there is a layer of thick green pollen powder all over my windshield. It's horrible.
Awesome. That sounds delightful.
Yeah, it looks like that one tea. You know that tea that's that green powder? What's that shit called? It starts with an M, I think. Matcha tea.
I don't know how anybody would know that.
It's a thing. It's like this green powder. It's weird. Anyway, that's what it looks like. It looks like matcha tea all over my car.
All right. Well, what I want to hear everybody tell me in the comments, right, is what do you think Esau's first reaction was when he was on the ground wanting that red lentil soup? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think he was thinking?
I think I would probably pick up the nearest object and hit him over the head with it and take the fucking soup and be like, fuck you, motherfucker, I'm hungry, I'm eating your shit. I mean, I would probably resort to physical violence.
Yeah.
I'll cut you.
Cut you, motherfucker.
With this spoon.
Well, anyways, we appreciate you guys joining us today. If you will, drop a like on this video if you did indeed liked it and you listened to us banter until the end. And I guess we will see you heathens later.
Don't forget, stand up and use your voice.
See you guys.
Bye, y'all.